Well, our first guest joins me in studio. Tom Djokovic is the CEO of XsunX Incorporated. XSNX is their stock symbol. Tom, always a pleasure to see you here.
It's great to be back, Don. Thanks.
Well, tell us again what the company does.
Well, Don, we do commercial solar is what we focus on. We're specialists in commercial solar, and what that is solar systems that we put on businesses, all kinds of business roofs, parking lots, you name it, agriculture areas. If you have a business, any kind of enterprise, we specialize in helping you we present to you the financial benefits for that, cash flow analysis, we provide financing for you, and we put it in and help you start saving money.
You know, we had an interview towards the end of last year where I basically had you walk us through a sales presentation. Mm-hmm. And during that interview, you mentioned one of the big challenges that the company was facing was finding good financing. And apparently now you have found a good program. Tell us about that.
Well, there's several programs out there. We have a great lease-to-own program that, what's interesting is the government gives you a 30% federal tax credit. Plus there's depreciation allowances. Sometimes there's city or state incentives available. Those are starting to dry up on top of that. But a lot of customers cannot monetize those tax credits, or at least not monetize them easily. So we have lenders will come in, literally take those tax credits, monetize them, give the client the benefit, the value of that, reduce the actual amount they're going to borrow, and then we have programs where they could put that on their property tax bill, pay it once a year for the next 20 years, have a fixed, no escalations per year, a fixed annual rate, and typically, let's say we're going to save them $10,000 a month in electricity, their payment's only $5,000 a month. They still walk away with about a $5,000 a month savings in this example, no money out of pocket, paying one payment a year or whenever they pay their property tax, and it's not even on their balance sheet, so it doesn't affect their ability to borrow money or make other kinds of business investments. That's one program, and like I said, there's a lease program as well. So there's some really good options out there, and we're starting to see some traction with those.
So if I'm a businessman, I'm a property owner, that has got to be a no-brainer decision. Your costs are going to go down, it's not going to affect your balance sheet, and it's being attached to your property bill. I mean, how can someone even consider not doing it?
Well, Don, I agree with you. I sat with a gentleman down in San Diego the other day where he leaned forward and he said, exactly, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do it? And I think it's that why wouldn't you do it that kind of makes some people guess a little bit. And so we're dealing with a lot of early adopters still. There's not the herd mentality that I think is coming here later this year, next year, in 2017 as well, where this becomes common nature, where people start thinking out of the box this way. But for most people that move forward with the program, it's exactly what they think. This is a no-brainer. Why don't you do it? I mean, even if they pay cash, it's almost like a 401k savings plan for the business. Every dime that goes in comes back out in the form of free electricity. I mean, tens of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of electricity for free.
And you're talking in the market that you're primarily serving in Southern California. Let's face it, the sun shines a lot in Southern California.
We produce a lot of electricity here.
Now, we had a conversation before going on the air. You were talking about certain things going on with the Public Utilities Commission that may or may not be affecting the industry. Can you expand on that?
Well, Don, primarily in the residential space. It's already occurred in the business space where the business has been moved to time of use rates, and that's been a big benefit for us because customers literally in a number of instances have virtually seen their bills double overnight. I mean, from 2014 to 2015. And so that's helped us a lot. And now the PUC, Public Utility Commission, is looking to go ahead and let the major utility providers go ahead and move to similar type of rates for homeowners, where they get rid of the 5-tier program that's in place now, crush it down to only 2 tiers, which is essentially a starting rate of so many cents per kilowatt hour. Once you use that, then it goes a little bit higher, and start charging time of use. Some people in the industry are saying, hey, this is going to really hurt us. But personally, if you read between the lines, I don't know, Don, when's the last time you've seen a private business suggest a rate plan that's going to cause them to make less money? I think the rates are going to go up. This is probably going to be a benefit for the overall industry.
Now, usually when something like that happens, that's going to affect private business, somebody in the government came up with the idea.
Well, there's this dynamic tension between the Public Utility Commission and the private electrical generators, such as Edison, PG&E, people like that. They're constantly battling. The PUC trying to pretend that they're protecting the public's rights, and obviously the private utilities looking for ways to actually, create profits to pay off their shareholders.
You know, Tom, we've been following your company for a good 10 or 12 years. It's always been an exciting education into the overall industry every time you come in here. Again, the company is XsunX Incorporated. XSNX is their stock symbol. Congratulations on those developments, especially the financing program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Don.